From traveling the world almost straight into isolation, from total freedom to this. At least that's how it feels for me. In reality, it's already been a few months since we returned, though time's always running. We're always so busy, I always feel so busy, and I had to admit the fact that even though I've seen a lot on travels and I now know people from all over the world, I still, very often, feel lonely. And now that the world is on hold, I can really feel it. How I've always kept myself busy. Too busy to stop, too busy to think, too busy to connect. And I just think that it's fascinating. We can literally be surrounded by people all the time. We can even be in a relationship and still feel lonely. On the other hand, we can be separated, we can be scattered around the globe, and still, without actually exchanging a word, without actually communicating, feel connected. I just think humanity is fascinating, humankind is fascinating. Realizing this, I do not feel isolated, I do not feel alone in this. I do feel the urge to sometimes go out, but what I mainly want to do, currently, is to speak to people, from near and far, people who I know, who I don't know, who I may get to know. This is not only a chance to finally shut up and listen to myself and figure out what I really want and what I really need, but it is also a chance for me to listen to others, to step a bit away from myself and finally start making genuine, real connections.
Hey, there you are. What's up? What's up?
And you may argue now how real human connection actually can be when only happening digitally. Can zeros and ones really replace human presence and proximity? Personally, I don't think so. But I think that's how we can close a gap, temporarily, until we make it through this, eventually. Before I end this video, I'd like to say thank you to actually each and every person that throughout the last weeks and almost months was in contact with me and made these calls with me, whoever took the time for this to literally talk for hours even though we don't know each other. I definitely do not take this for granted. Many people, it's funny, many people actually never believe this when I say this, but I feel socially awkward a lot. I'm very insecure about my opinions, I'm very insecure about my English abilities, I'm very insecure about my creativity, and I'm never really sure what to think of it. I actually always think that it's never enough. But just like this film, once I get into it, once I get into just doing it, I really enjoy the process, and so I did with the conversations we had and the thoughts we exchanged. I really do appreciate, and it would have not been possible for me if you guys would have not been up to it. So I want to say one more time, thank you. And I've made this film to kind of showcase that I personally think that currently probably is not the right time to look back at the good old times in agony and crave for the past we currently cannot have. But maybe it is also not the right time to look into a brighter future and be only optimistic. We definitely should be optimistic because that's saving our asses currently, that's what I believe. But this may just be the right time to be here where we are and really start thinking about what we want and what we need in our life. And for me, so it happens to be more genuine human exchange, more empathy and relatability across borders, if you will, but also just to learn more. And this last weeks, almost months, made clear to me we are more than ever not only technically, but in a way also physically, mentally, and spiritually, we definitely all are.
When I was young